Welcome to One Guy, One Course, One Disc. We are here today at Alexander Park in Lawerenceville, Georgia. We are playing the blue layouts, so let's go take a look at the course. Hole 1 is a 314-foot par 3 that's going to go 7 feet. It's going to be 263 feet to the tree to the left here in the front of the basket. But once you finish hole number 1, hole 2 is going to be to your left. Hole 2 is a 350-foot par 3 that goes downhill 12 feet. It's about 297 feet to the little wall of trees right here. And then from there, it's 53 feet to the basket. And once you finish hole number 2, hole number 3 is going to be to your right. Hole 3 is a 507-foot par 4 that's going to require a placement shot on your first shot. You really want to get to the right side of this tree line. It'll definitely help open up the gap going into the woods to the basket. From this tree here in front of us, it's going to be 137 feet to the opening, which is about 20 feet wide. And then the basket is tucked into the woods. But once you finish hole number 3, hole 4 is going to be to your right. Hole 4 is a 271-foot par 3. It's going to be 126 feet to get out of the tree line. Either side of this tree in the middle, it's about 5 feet opening. So it will require accuracy to get out of the tree line in 1. But once you get out, it's fairly open. Once you finish hole number 4, hole 5 is going to be to your left. Hole 5 is a 261-foot par 3 that has 111 feet. It's going to be a slight right turning shot. But once you finish hole number 5, hole 6 is going to be to your left. Hole 6 is a 279-foot par 3 that's tight most of the way to the basket. It's going to go uphill 12 feet total. It's about 175 feet to this point, and then just another 104 to the basket from there. But once you finish hole 6, hole 7 is going to be to your right behind you a little bit. Hole 7 is a 300 feet. That first gap we just walked through is 37 feet off the tee pad. But if you can manage to get past that, it's fairly open the rest of the way to the basket. Once you finish hole number 7, hole 8 is going to be behind you to your right. Hole 8 is a 236-foot par 3 that goes downhill 13 feet. It is a left to right shot. It's 97 feet to that tree that we just passed, and then it's another 139 feet into the woods. But once you finish hole 8, hole 9 is going to be to your left. Hole 9 is a 338-foot par 3 that's going to go uphill 17 feet. It's fairly open most of the way, except this tree on the right. It's 246 feet from the tee pad. But once you finish hole number 9, hole 10 is going to be to your right. Hole 10 is a 383-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 22 feet. It's going to be 308 feet to get to the tree line. These trees here on our right and left are at 125 feet and 199 feet. But once you finish hole number 10, hole 11 will be straight ahead of you. Hole 11 is a 214-foot par 3. It's going to go uphill 9 feet. Pretty straightforward shot, but once you finish hole 11, hole 12 will be straight ahead of you. Hole 12 is a 218-foot par 3 that's going to swing left to right. You do have a lot of trees you have to dodge, so hopefully you can get through them without getting a bad kick. But once you finish hole 12, hole 13 will be straight ahead of you across the path. Hole 13 is a 342-foot par 3 that's going to go downhill 23 feet. It's going to be 167 feet to this tree here in the middle, and then another 175 feet to the basket. You can go left or right of that tree, but the left is probably more open than the right. Once you finish hole 13, hole 14 is going to be to your left. Hole 14 is a 301-foot par 3 that's going to go uphill 20 feet. It's going to be a slow turning right to left shot. But once you finish hole number 14, hole 15 will be across the path to the right. Hole 15 is a 216-foot par 3 that goes uphill feet. You're going to have some trees here on our right in front of us that start at about 129 feet. And then the last tree is going to be about 40 feet in front of the basket. But once you finish hole 15, hole 16 will be straight ahead of us to the right. Hole 16 is a 506-foot par 4 that's going to go uphill a total of 2 feet. It's going to be about 305 feet to get to this stump that's in the middle of the field. It's going to slightly turn to the right from there. And then you have some trees you have to contend with that are about 50 feet from the basket. But once you finish hole 16, hole 17 is going to be to your right. Hole 17 is a 368-foot par 3 that goes downhill 6 feet. To your left, there is a pond, and then to the right, you just have this wall of trees. The last tree being at 268 feet. I will caution you, I did see a snake here on hole 17, so While you're playing throughout the park, just be careful. But once you finish hole 17, hole 18 is to your right by hole 16's tee pad. Hole 18 is a 560-foot par 4. That initial gap you're going to have to go through is at 40 feet. It's about 10 feet wide. But once you get past that gap, it's fairly open the rest of the way to the basket. There are some trees you have to contend with, but hopefully you can avoid them. And once you finish hole 18, the parking lot will be to your right. Now that you've seen the course, let's take a look at today's disc. It is going to be the MVP Crave. It is a 6.5 -1-1. So let's see how it flies here at Alexander Park. No. Oh. Oh. So there you have the Crave at Alexander Park in Lawrenceville, Georgia. As far as the Crave goes, it's the one I was using today was brand new, so it was very stable out of the box. It held the line I put it on. It stayed that pretty much to the end of the flight and had some fade out. I put it on Annie. It would hold it, but it would fight out of it. So brand new, it's going to be a little stable, but I think as it beats in, it's going to get some nice turn and then fade back. I'd definitely suggest getting this disc if you're looking for something that's kind of a lower speed, stable fairway driver. As far as the course goes, Alexander Park, it is a great course. A lot of wide open holes that lets you rip it. There's also some wooded holes. A lot of holes are going from the open into the woods, so it requires you to be accurate with your secondary shots or just hitting those gaps to 250 feet off the tee. It is hilly, so you will get a pretty good workout in. Really not a lot of downsides to this course except the layout. There are a lot of holes that are really close to each other, so you might get lost or go to the wrong tee box. But other than that, it's a great course. Highly suggest you checking it out if you're in the Atlanta area. But until next time, off to the next course.